the 2024 financial year and first quarter of 2025. Keep watching Parliament Television.
PSU appearing before the Planning and the Budgeting Committee, where we are considering the first quarter budget performance for 2025, and we are looking at also how at the same time in 2024 budget performance was, and we're happy that you are here. So what we'll do is we'll start with introductions. You introduce your team, and then I'll allow the members of this committee to do the same, then we'll start. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and good morning, honorable members of this committee. My names are Yvonne Pundu. I'm currently Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture in charge of administration. Thank you. I'll allow my colleagues to introduce themselves. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Lucas Wedi. I'm the Director of Finance in the Ministry of Agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and members of the committee. My name is Paul Mumba from the Department of Policy and Planning, Ministry of Agriculture.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Larry Twambo Mulomba, Director Internal Audit in the Ministry of Agriculture.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Alice Mpalola from the Ministry of Agriculture from Policy and Planning Department.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, members. I am Peter Zulu, Acting Director in the Department of Agribusiness and Marketing, Ministry of Agriculture. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of Parliament. My name is Kafwan Falemi, Director Human Resources and Administration at Ministry of Agriculture.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Boyd Manyika. I'm Principal Accountant at the Ministry of Agriculture.
Thank you. Honorable members, let's start with my far right, Honorable Mulebo.
Good morning, Honorable Chair. My name is Jeff Murebo. I'm for Kafrafuta constituents on the Copper Belt. I come from a very, very wealthy and prestigious constituency. You're welcome.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, PS and your entourage. My name is Kalalwe Mukosa, Member of Parliament for Chinsali and Member of the Planning and Budgeting Committee. Thank you.
Good afternoon, PS and your team. I'm Frank Simushi, Member of Parliament for Skongo constituency.
Good afternoon, PS and team. My name is Jamba Majila, MP for Mwembe.
Good afternoon, PS and your team. My name is Kon Wasimunji, Member of Parliament for Rwanda.
Good afternoon, PS and your team. My name is David Mabumba, MP from Wanse constituency.
Thank you. Honorable Mumba, we also have one member participating virtually.
Good afternoon, PS and your team. My name is Honorable Anton Mumba. I'm the Member of Parliament for Kantanshi constituency in Mufula district. Thank you.
Thank you. PS, the other members are our support team from also the clerk. And also my name is Freddy Jatila, Member of Parliament for Momba constituency in Monze, also the chairperson for this committee. Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia PS gives you immunity when appearing before a committee of parliament, such as this one, meaning that you was with us, whatever you say and that which you say cannot be used against you in any court of law, except if at all you were to deliberately mislead this committee, then the Cap 12 is also revoked. And also just to indicate that we are live on both the Parliament TV and the radio. So our people out there will give us this mandate following the proceedings. PS, we have your submission, which has been with us for some time. And what we'll do is we'll ask you to give us your summary presentation of the same report. Maybe if you need all of it, 30 minutes at most, so that we can allow more time for the members to ask questions if at all they have any questions to ask. Okay, having said that, PS, you can start your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. We thank you and your Honorable Committee for inviting the Ministry to present a memorandum on the budget performance for the financial year 2024 and the 2025 Quarter 1 budget performance. Honorable Chairperson and members of the committee, allow me to draw your attention to page 1, Section 1, Ministry of Agriculture budget execution in 2024 relative to the approved budget. Honorable Chairperson, the Ministry's approved budget in 2024 was 12,752,109,811 kwacha, compared to 11,325,109,654 kwacha in 2023. The 2024 total approved budget represented 11% increase from what was approved in 2023. From the amount allocated in 2024, 8,561,421,256 was allocated to the Farmer Input Support Program, FISIP, 1,766,200,000 to Food Reserve Agency, FRA, for the purchase of the National Strategic Food Reserves, 693,248,829 to personal emoluments, and 1.7,066,200 was to various programs and projects that are donor funded. Honorable Chairperson, the total release in 2024 financial year was 9,473,939,882.14. The committee may wish to note that the bulk of the released in 2024 were mainly channeled towards the implementation of the Farmer Input Support Program, FISIP, and the management of strategic food reserves. Honorable Chairperson, Table 2 on page 2 provides a summary of the 2024 financial year budget economic classification for the following: personal emoluments, use of goods and services, assets and transfers and subsidies. Honorable Chairperson and members of the committee, Section 1 in 2024, some of the key outputs and deliverables by the ministry included the distribution of subsidized inputs to a target of 1,024,434 FISIP beneficiaries in the farming season 2023-2024. The procurement of at least 500,000 metric tons of strategic food reserves by the Foods Reserve Agency, the procurement of 200 motorbikes for extension service delivery, and the development of 20 climate-smart crop varieties. Honorable Chairperson, for the period under review, a total of 802,491 beneficiaries under e-voucher and 221,609 beneficiaries through the direct input supply were supported with farmer inputs, representing 100% delivery. Honorable Chairperson and the members of the committee, under the Food Reserves and Management Program, a total of 594,951.71 metric tons of maize grain was procured at a total cost of 4,225,978,908.70. Honorable Chairperson, Under the early maize production program, a total of 48 contracted farmers cultivated 14,188 hectares, of which 83,411.12 metric tons of maize was supplied to the Food Reserve Agency. Honorable Chairperson, for the Sustainable Agriculture Finance Facility SAFE, 4 more products were added to the program. That is irrigation, farm power, aquaculture, and livestock. By the end of December 2024, 26,148 farmers had successfully accessed these loans. Honorable Chairperson and members of the committee, in order to promote mechanization during the period under review, the Ministry launched the 360 National Agricultural Mechanization Strategy and procured 140 tractors with implements, strategically distributing them across 10 mechanization centers of excellency and 40 service centers positioned at farmer training centers, FTCs, in selected districts across the country. This was to enable our farmers access mechanization equipment to enhance productivity. Honorable Chairperson, during the reporting period under review, Ministry through the Zambia Agriculture Research Institute, ZARI, developed a total of 20 climate-smart varieties were developed. Of these crops, the varieties 6 were maize hybrids, 3 was sorghum, cassava varieties 2, groundnuts varieties 2, pigeon pea 2, cowpea 1, and pearl millet 2. In addition, through the Department of Seed Control and Certification Institute, SCCI, the Ministry successfully defended the release of 1 maize, 1 irrigated wheat, and 3 rice varieties. Honorable Chairperson, under the Plant Quarantine and Phytosanitary Services, PQPS, the Ministry successfully secured market access to export various products to several countries, including soybean grain to China, oil palm seeds to Venezuela, fresh produce to the United States of America, including hass, avocados, citrus fruits, pineapples, blueberries, pumpkin, and watermelon. Maize seed to Mexico. Yes, and the following have reached an advanced stage of finalization: the market access process of maize, soybeans, and wheat grains to Egypt, tiger lemon fruit to Spain, and avocado fruit to India. Honorable Chairperson, under the farm block development, the Ministry rehabilitated 90 kilometers of roads in Luena and Nansanga farm blocks and extended an additional 1.5 megawatts of electricity in Luena farm block. The Ministry of Agriculture has conducted soil mapping in Mansa, Solwezi, Nansanga, and Kalumwange farm blocks. This initiative aims to optimize fertilizer application, enhance agricultural productivity, and support sustainable farming practices. Honorable Chairperson and members of the committee, during the period under review, the Ministry procured 200 motorbikes, which are yet to be distributed to all the 10 provinces. A total of 450 extension toolkits were procured and distributed to selected districts across the country. Honorable Chairperson, lastly, on the 2024 performance, the Ministry, through the Irrigation Development Support Program, rehabilitated 10 dams, namely Chikowa in Eastern Province, Kanyika and Kawiko in Northwestern Province, Naboa in Western Province, Makaba, Ndondi, Ngolongozia, and Nachibanga in Southern Province. Katembula in the Copper Belt and Chibalashi in Wapula Province. The ministry also conducted a dam mapping exercise on 700 dams, and a total of 132 dams were found to have the capacity to support irrigation. Further, the ministry successfully commissioned and operationalized the 20-hectare Tawia drip irrigation project in Chirundu district. Honorable Chairperson, Table 2 on page 5 presents a summary of the releases in 2024 quarter 1 compared to releases in the same period of 2025 under the program classifications. Personal emoluments, PEs, the use of goods and services, RDCs, assets and transfers, and subsidies. The overall quarter 1 budget release increased by 281.7% from 2024 to 2025. Honorable Chairperson, the release on use of goods and services rose by 39.7%. This is due to timely release of funds by the Ministry of Finance and National Planning. Transfers and subsidies saw the largest jump with a 366.9% increase, indicating a significant push in government support programs. The sharp increase in transfers and subsidies is primarily due to the release of funds to clear outstanding arrears for agro dealers. Honorable Chairperson, allow me to mention that the releases in the first quarter of 2025 performed better than the first quarter of 2024. Honorable Chairperson, I will now move to Table 3 on page 7, which gives a summary of the releases versus the expenditure in the first quarter of 2025 under each program classification. 1. Agriculture development and productivity. 2. Agribusiness development and marketing. 3. The National Food Reserves Management. 4. Agriculture standards and regulations. And 5. Management and support services. Honorable Chairperson, in the first quarter, a total of 2,742,781,549,000.55 was released, out of which 2,687,036,149.98 has been spent. This represents 27% of the approved budget under the first program, Agriculture Development and Productivity. For the Agribusiness Development and Marketing Program, the Ministry has received a total of 2.1 billion and plus, and 1.5 billion plus was expended in the first quarter. 2,577,577,000.71.
I think it's okay. You may not want to, since we have the figures.
Okay.
Yeah.
The ministry has received 21,549 under the National Food Reserves Management Program, and a total of 21,549.999 has been spent. For the Agriculture Standards and Regulations Program, the ministry has received a total of 7.6 billion and a total of the approved budget representing 14% of the approved budget of the received amount. 7 billion has been spent. Honorable Chairperson, I will now move to page 9 and 10 of our submission, which highlights the ministry's performance for selected budget lines in the first quarter of 2025. The performance highlights as follows. Farmer Input Support Program, FISIP. The e-voucher system has been rolled out to all the 116 districts. 500 agro dealers have been registered. The ministry has cleared almost all the outstanding bills for agro dealers. the Food Reserve Agency. In preparation of the 2025 marketing season, FRA has prepared over 1,000 depots that will be operational during the marketing season. The storage capacity for the 2025 crop is 1 million metric tons. Agency has employed 14,280 people ahead of the 2025 marketing season. Among those employed are the satellite depot clerks, security guards, and casual workers. FRA has also distributed 14 million empty sack bags in readiness for the season. Then Plant Quarantine and Phytosanitary Services, PQPS. The ministry, through the Plant Quarantine and Phytosanitary Services, PQPS, has signed the trade protocol on market access for macadamia nuts export to China, and has also accessed market for the avocado fruits to South Africa. Further, a submission detailing the system's approach and a dossier for maintaining market access for fresh cut flowers to the European Union was prepared to secure continued access to the market. Honorable Chairperson and the members of the committee, the Ministry has continued the sensitization of farmers on the importance of the utilization of advanced mechanization equipment to assist farmers with information to enhance production and productivity through mechanization. During Q1, 1,188 farmers accessed tractor mechanization services, seed development, and agricultural research. Last but not the least, I would like to highlight a significant milestone in Zambia's agricultural sector. On March 19, 2025, the Ministry, in collaboration with Bayer Zambia, officially launched the Bayer Itaba seed plant in Kabwe, an impressive £32.5 million investment. This initiative is set to greatly benefit our farmers by enhancing seed production capacity and improving food security. Honorable Chairperson, I wish to submit and end by thanking the Honorable Committee for this opportunity given to us. Thank you.
Thank you, PS, for the submission. Honorable members, any questions? Okay, Honorable Smushi.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, PS, for your presentation. The question that I have, or the questions I have, I'll link them to two just for now. We've had a very good season in terms of maize production, but what I wanted to find out from you is on what are you going to base this increase in the maize production? Is it on productivity or just on production levels? I hope I'm clear, because I've heard here we are talking about mechanization and all these other issues. So is it because we've had more people coming in to grow maize and these other crops, or it's because of productivity in terms of using advanced technology? Then the other question is, we in Congo, we have embarked on, I think, a program to increase productivity in rice production and also introducing wheat. But I don't know to what extent the ministry is involved in this program. Because when I speak to the DACO, I tend to find that the information he gives is like the ministry is not really part and parcel of the program. You are talking about increasing mechanization. We are now harvesting wheat, rice using a combined harvester in Congo. And then we have got 4 tractors with all the implements that we've had. But I don't know. These implements are coming through CEC. We have engaged CEC. Our farmers, through cooperatives, are getting these implements. And also we are putting up a processing plant for rice, again in collaboration with CEC. So the question is, to what extent are you involved, or do you know about what is happening in Congo in as far as wheat and rice production is concerned?
Thank you, Honorable Mkosa. Thank you, Chair. PS, I think from your submission, it's been observed that the releases for this quarter 2025 has improved compared to last year's. Now, I just wanted to get a position from you as regards these two programs. The first one being use of goods and services, the other one being assets. That is on page 5, where you have indicated the summary of performance for the 2024 and 2025 budget for quarter 1. What challenges have you faced, if any, as regards use of goods and services, as regards the budget implementation for the first quarter pertaining to the use of goods and services? Have you had any challenges as a result of the funding, which looks like it's below expectation? Of course, I take note that it has improved from last year to this year. Last year, the first quarter, you got about 1.3%, but this year, you got about 13%. So, what challenges have you faced in the budget implementation? Are there some activities that you have failed to do as a result of maybe not having received adequate funding? Then also, on assets, I take note that your budget for the year is about 2.9 billion, and you have received just a partly 535,000. I take it that a lot of things that you want to do under assets have not been done so far, at least. So how are you affected? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. PSU, can you respond to those?
Thank you, Chair. To begin with, the first question was speaking to whether productivity and production will count. We're saying definitely for us to realize or to increase on yields, both must be enhanced by way of what we are saying support. So when we talk of support, what are we saying? We want to improve the agriculture sector. First things first, what do we need to do? We need to look at what is it exactly that requires to be done for the farmer. So we look at things like inputs, implements, and also service delivery in terms of extension services. So through that, we are also saying we are able to provide the basic necessities for the extension service delivery section, those that reach out to the many farmers. So what have we done? So to enhance productivity and production, we've come up with buying motorcycles for the extension service delivery officers. We've bought tablets so that they can be in constant touch with the farmers by way of e-learning and also getting updates from the farmers themselves. So it's a two-way thing. We'll carry out some training electronically. We'll also share information with the farmers that are in production by way of feeding us on how their crops are doing, and then we give the advice that the farmers need. So we're doing our level best to see how best we can enhance production levels in the country. So we're really frantically trying to see how we can support the agriculture sector by the things that I have mentioned. And in terms of the inputs like fertilizers and other things, as you are aware, we have gone now 100% e-voucher, which means this is up to the farmer to make a decision on what exactly they would require. So we will not decide for the farmers, but the farmers will definitely decide, but we will definitely be there to guide, to give the guidance and the other necessary support that is needed. Talking of the rice productivity in the wheat in Western Province, rather unfortunate that our extension service delivery or extension services officers are not being proactive, rather unfortunate. But I would like to reassure you that we are currently on top of things to try and see how best we can enhance, support these people to reach out. In terms of machinery or mechanization, indeed we have a farmer, an FTC, where we've taken mechanization, we've taken equipment there, which of course might not be easy to access for everybody in Western Province because it's situated in a specific area. But I would like to assure you that our target or our plan, from our plan, we would like to have this in all the 116 districts. Then we would be able to facilitate or support the farmers countrywide effectively when we spread out to 116 districts, because definitely we'll be able to touch base with all the farmers around. For now, it looks rather tricky because these mechanization centers are in specific districts, in 10 districts only, which is 10 provinces. Yes. Coming to the releases of funding, the use of goods and services and assets on page 5. Sorry. Okay, like you have stated that maybe we could speak to this. I would like to just mention that indeed the figures there are seemingly not sitting too well because sorry. Sorry, Chair. I'm being disturbed here.
Yeah, you are being assisted.
Well, we could call it that.
Yeah.
Perhaps I must allow him to speak to
exactly.
it.
Anyone.
Thank you. I'll invite my director to say something.
To say. You can use the other mic as well.
Thank you, PS. Thank you, Chair. Concerning the goods and services as well as the assets, what I was trying to indicate is that the goods and services mostly under the way the budget has been classified, this is where all the projects of the ministry are actually budgeted for. And we've got about 16 projects. And then in terms of in answering the question that what challenges have you faced, you find that these projects, in terms of releasing the funds, they are attached to some kind of targets where the ministry has to achieve. When they achieve the target, that's when the money will actually be released. And in most cases, you find that when the money is released through the Treasury, there's normally a delay by the Treasury to release this money to the ministry. And then concerning the assets, these relate to the capital expenditure. And what has been affected mostly is the rehabilitation of the hump houses. I submit, Chair.
Thank you. Those were the last ones. Do you want to add, PS? No? We can go to the next.
Maybe just to mention that sometimes the delay in releasing of funds affects the running of the activities or the programs is usually the truth. But of course, that does not stop the ministry in doing certain activities. Otherwise, we can say that, it's just a delay in funding. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Simunji, Honorable Mabombali, Honorable Mulebwa, in that order.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, during our tours, especially last year, one of the challenges which your officers mentioned was accommodation for extension officers and transport. Now, in this case, you are telling us that there was a budget to procure 250 motorbikes. 200 were bought. But to date, you are still keeping them. This is what the report is saying. Why are we keeping these motorbikes at our offices when they are supposed to be there, so that they are able to, the officers are able to go around and assist our farmers? So, since you bought 200, what has happened to the 50? Was it the money which didn't come? In addition to this, there was no explanation on the farm blocks. There was a budget for 150 rehabilitation of roads in Asanga and Little Rwena. Only 130 was done. The balance 20, no explanation. May I have your comment, PS?
Thank you, Honorable Mulebwa.
Honorable Chair, I wish to thank you for the opportunity to ask this. It's actually maybe more or less like a rider to what my colleague has presented. I basically wish to, rather this committee wishes to know what further support and improvements have been made to farming blocks, considering the conditions that we found most of them during our tour. Is there any significant support and improvements that have been made apart from the roads that you have presented to us?
Thank you, Honorable Mavumba.
Thank you, Chair. PS, in your presentation on page 1 of your submission, I pick the FISIP allocation. If you look at the budget, approved budget, 8.5 billion, which is a very significant budget, and in most cases crowds out your minister's intention to invest in other strategic areas of your ministry. But obviously the challenge, as you and I are aware, is to do with the issues of beneficiary identification, issues of low productivity. So what is it, given that this is the biggest budget in your ministry? So what reforms are you undertaking to ensure that beneficiary identification is correct? Number 2, the production levels improves, because at the moment when we visited Nansanga, you find a private sector farmer is able to harvest more than 2 tons per hectare. But your farmers who are receiving these inputs, in many cases their production levels are below 2 tons per hectare. That's number 1. Number 2, in your presentation on page 9, where you are talking about the storage capacity for the 2025 crop marketing season is 1 million metric tons. PS, as you are aware, we have had the FRI shares that have been under construction for some time now, and the Mwense constituency, where I represent the people of Mwense, we have got 1 storage facility. When are those storage facilities going to be completed in the context of your budget? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, PS. You can respond to those.
Thank you, Chair. The first question was speaking to the challenges that were brought out by our officers as you undertook your tours. Indeed, there's been a challenge of accommodation for our extension services officers, but I would like to mention to you that we've been managing to rehabilitate quite a number of houses, though of course the money is not enough. But whatever is allocated to us, as you are all aware that during the budget process, we're given a ceiling under which we must work with. And then funds are allocated according to what they think for that particular year can be used for renovations or rehabilitations. Of course, there are some properties that have been, maybe to say, have to be demolished or decommissioned. There are quite a number of those structures, which also brings in a serious problem, because then that's a minus in the amount of accommodation around the country. But of course, we have thoughts to see how best we can maybe collaborate with our colleagues under local government to see how we can engage to say that perhaps the CDF money also Minister of Agriculture could stand to benefit. I know the Honorable is laughing because it's your money, sir, but definitely we can be partners to see how we can support the extension service aspect. We really need accommodation for extension services officers. There are more than 2,500. But when you look at what is currently existing, it's not sufficient to cater for everyone. Speaking to the motorbikes, the 200, these motorbikes have gone. Apparently, these ones, I think, it's these ones for first quarter being talked about, 2025. If we are talking of last year's motorbikes, those were delivered. And the only places where these were not or have not reached is where those provinces, when we sent the monies went to wrong accounts for those trucks which were supposed to come and collect, because we said each province must send trucks to come and pick their consignments. So there are some who sent wrong accounts, which I'm aware, I think Luapula province, and I think another Western province. So that, I think, in as far as I'm concerned, by now has been resolved. Otherwise, these motorbikes we're talking about, over 700 have since gone. These 200 are a procurement which I believe must be currently ongoing, unless there's something I have I'm being actually corrected that they have been delivered here. So I think we're on top of things. We've done our level best to make sure we take these things to the rightful or to their destinations. And in the current procurement, what we have guided, the people that we are going to procure these motorcycles, there is a component in the solicitation document where we have said they must take to the doorstep, as opposed to involving the government now to be the ones distributing and redistributing. We have said this time around, when the person is awarded, they must buy and deliver to the doorstep of that particular district in that particular area. I think that will even enhance or quicken up the processes. Thank you. And coming to farm blocks, indeed we have a number of farm blocks in the country, and I'm sure that a good number of you honorable members, you know the story of farm blocks. It's over years and years. This has been from time immemorial, but in the past 3-4 years that we've been trying to make things work, we have indeed done quite some tremendous job in these farm blocks. I'll speak to the roads that have been done in a specific area with coupled with electricity, availing electricity in these farm blocks. We have not ended on that. We are saying to you, we'll continue to see how best we can speed up the works. It may not be easy because certain farm blocks we are still concluding. You know, this was customary land, and there are issues that surround the traditional leadership in these areas. So there are certain demands that have been put forward, or certain things that need to be put straight, which we are working around with. However, suffice to mention that we are on top of things to ensure that the road networks in these farm blocks is done. There are issues speaking to designs, because some of these are new farm blocks. Take for instance Kalumwangi. We've completed the designs, and now we are sending them. The designs have been done, meaning even the road network, the designs have been done. Now we have to procure the people to go on site. And usually we are dealing with ZNS because they are quite effective and efficient, and the work seems to be coming out so well. So we really don't want to miss a point, but we want to give the best to our people that we can ever do. So we are on top of things. Yes, there could be delays in electricity here and there. That is ZESCO, but we can't speak beyond when we procure them. What they do is ZESCO. We can't speak for them. But definitely we've engaged them, and we're in constant touch with them. Coming to the issue of the 8.5 billion beneficiaries of FISIP, indeed the larger part of our budget is sitting as it speaks to FISIP. But I would like to mention to you that in terms of the beneficiary identification, we have been, and I would safely say to you that we've tried to clean up the register. We've been doing that. We've removed those ones that were not employed by government at the time and now are employed by government. We have managed to correct the issues to do with NRCs. And if you were to ask me, how have you done this? There's been a synchronization of if the IFMIS program, the PEMIC, NAPSA, all these, we are sitting on one platform now. So if we want to catch a person, there's a system that has since come on board that helps us to make sure that this person is employed and can never be a beneficiary on FISIP. So now that's simple. So I can rest assure you that in terms of data, we are on top of things. We've managed to clean it up. And if anything arises, it's very easy and quick to catch that person because of the system that is speaking to each other. That is what we call the ZIAMIS program. So it's been linked up actually with ZRA, NAPSA, and our payroll system, and yeah. So it's PEMIC. So we are saying we're on top of things, Honorable Member. Be rest assured we will not fail you. And then I would also like to speak to the issue of production in terms of a farmer giving us 2 tons per hectare. Definitely that means that those farmers need to be taken through some training of some kind to teach them on how to get into serious production. Our aim this year is to make sure our farmers are yielding not less than 7 tons per hectare. The issue of 2 tons is a thing of the past. So we are saying through this e-training that we have commenced, the electronic training with the tablets we've bought, we'll be carrying out workshops and trainings with our farmers. Our extension officers, we've set down programs that are speaking to training farmers on how to grow, for instance, maize on 1 hectare must not yield 2 or 3 tons. They must yield not less than 7.5 tons. Whereas our aim is to see how we can reach to 10 tons per hectare because it's achievable. We've seen it. Even within Lusaka, there are farmers who are producing 10 tons per hectare. We've been to the sites, we've visited, it's something that can be demonstrated. So be rest assured, Honorable Member, we'll get to that. Coming to the other aspect that will help us achieve this is the project, or the program rather, that we have commenced, the soil mapping program. We've commenced soil mapping countrywide because we want to make sure that farmers get the correct input in terms of fertilizers. Each region must be able to get the correct fertilizer that suits those soils in that area. It will also help, or rather enhance, the productivity levels. So we've already embarked on that. So that is one way of also reassuring you that things will definitely change. I would like to speak to the storage facilities for FRA. Indeed, the storage facility for FRA is something that can raise concern. But I wouldn't want to dwell much on this because part of this matter is under litigation. So I will probably be speaking to something that is under the courts and who might bring some problems to this. But I can just rest assured that it's a thorn in us. We really want to resolve it, but we are ready for the current crop, the current yield. We've put everything in place to ensure that the projected 3.6 million metric tons is well taken care of. I submit, Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Jamba, then Honorable Mulebwa.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, PS. Just a quick one, PS. In my constituency, that's nearby here in Membeshi, this item you have brought on page 3, bullet 2.5, agricultural credit window. Is it the SAF issue? People are saying this thing is
2.5.
2.5 years. It's changing legs. The people were told to submit, they submitted to the banks, but now I'm surprised you are even quoting a figure that such a number received. were you very selective, maybe in town or what? Because in my constituents, people are crying that this thing never even worked. This thing is a non-starter. But I want to get from you, where and how far did we go in reaching out to the farmers? And as you end this one, you may want to answer it or not. I was receiving some messages actually from my constituents. They are watching us. They are saying, you are not even telling them the price of your 50 kg and when you are going to buy FRI buying the maize. So they are actually, that's why you can decide not to answer it or answer it. But what I'm saying is, where did you do this SAF issue? Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe also on the SAF issue you need to add on in terms of identification. Because in areas where farmers, in inverted commas, received this, some of them, in fact, we are told that they are not farmers at all. They are traders in town. They start boosting their businesses and the like. So we wanted to know the what do we call it? The criteria that which you are using in terms of getting to these farmers. Honorable Munebuga.
Honorable Chair, I wish to thank you again for the opportunity. PS, you've talked about your embarking on the e-training of your people. I come from a rural constituency, and right now we are grappling with the network. I'm wondering, have you made on any alternative ways of training the farmers in areas where we don't have effective connectivity, areas like my area? Do you have any alternative ways of training your farmers? I thank you.
Honorable Sumushi.
Thank you, Chair. I would say, having worked for the ministry, Chair, there's one issue that I know which has been a big problem. This budget that is being presented here, I know it speaks to the national level situation. But I want to find out, how has the picture changed in terms of support going directly to the camp and the block levels where the actual activities happen in as far as the agriculture we are talking about is concerned? Because before, I think what was being received at that level was very little to make sure that we see some major improvement in agricultural production and productivity. Then I'll take you to page 7 on the activity, agribusiness development and marketing. I'm looking at your targets, the two, where you have got 250 farmers trained, and then I'm looking at the actual output. The discrepancy is so huge. So I'm wondering why is it like this? And then if you had to look at if the target was also in relation to the resources that you have, and then you end up having trained such a huge number. What's the reason for this?
Okay. That's all? Okay. PS, you can respond to those.
Thank you, Chair. I will probably invite my dear colleagues to come in at certain points. But to begin with the story of the issue speaking to SAFE. Yes, I would like to mention that sometimes people would question as to whether these were farmers or not and the like. But indeed, they were farmers that were benefiting. Of course, there could be a few culprits that I would call culprits because we're not able to see when someone is telling lies, because all these people that were applying were showing proof that they've got pieces of land. So the people that did the verification of these pieces of land, that is the bank, okay, went and verified their pieces of land, due diligence was done, and confirmed in the areas where they were coming from. So it's not something that I can say that the real farmers did not benefit. I think it was a question of which banks did the people go to. Because if you look at the banks that were involved, some of these banks don't have a representation in certain districts. And then the ones that have a representation in almost the 116 districts was so crowded that the applications indeed were really overwhelming, which resulted to a lot of farmers from the rural areas trying or finding it so difficult to access this money because there were a lot of applications. It was overwhelming for the bank, and that is not safe. So in banks, take for instance Indobank, that do not have a representation in a lot of these districts. Even as I'm speaking to you right now, they are giving out loans. They're giving out money. Zanaco is giving out money. Irrigation loans, aquaculture loans, mechanization loans, even crop loans, they have continued. We've been discussing, we spoke with these banks, we've gone into an agreement where we are saying, don't stop, because we want to make farming a continuous thing, 365 days throughout the year. So I can rest assure you, I think it's the places where they went to. But I want to, however, reassure you that Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Finance are on the table reviewing the process of these safe loans. We are now relooking at the whole issue. We want to redefine it, to make it more effective. We do not want to leave room for those that come and cheat and say, I'm a farmer, and yet they are found in the streets of Cairo Road. We want to make sure those ones don't come near this. We want serious farmers. So the two ministries, we've been working around, we're reviewing this program. So we will, very soon we'll roll it out, we'll speak to the public on how we've revised it and what they should expect going forward. I think that's what I can say on the safe loans. And then on the issue of the maize price, I'm afraid I may not have to speak to that because this is done by a specific body. However, all of you, honorable members, are aware that last week we announced the crop forecast, and that is actually what is supposed to begin before we announce the floor price. So having done that, I can only reassure you that probably before the end of this week, you should be able to get the price. That assurance I can give you. And then coming to the network, how are we going to ensure that the fact that we have gone 100% in all the 116 districts e-voucher, I want to reassure you that there is a network that we have provided countrywide. I'm sure you are aware of what is called Starlink. So this will help the redeeming process be effective. So this has been installed and it's currently working well. It has proved to be something that is quite helpful. So we should just be rest assured that this e-voucher will definitely work and will help us to yield good results. And let me invite my Director Finance to speak to the last two, the budget and the decrease in the same. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, PS. Thank you, Chair. Why there's been, how is the budget support to the lower level institutions like the provinces and the districts? What I could mention is that our budget as a ministry is based on the output-based budget, where we look at the programs. So we don't budget funds according to the district, but we look at the 5 programs which the ministry actually budgets. And these programs, we have the agriculture development and productivity, we have got agro-business and marketing, we've got national food reserve and management, agriculture standard and regulations, and management and support. These cater throughout the whole agriculture sector within the ministry. However, suffice to say that to improve efficiency in terms of supporting the districts through the issue of decentralization, We are now sending the monies through the local councils for all the DACO's offices. We are not sending the money directly because of the decentralization in order to improve the efficiency in the funds disbursement. I submit, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, PS on page number 4 of your submission under 2.9, recruitment of extension services officers. The 100 that which were recruited under the 2023 Treasury Authority, you had requested for 500, and then we have indicated that the ministry has not granted you the authority to recruit. You have seen that one, eh? Page number 4 of your submission. 2.9, extension service delivery.
Thank you, Chair. I have seen what you have indicated, 2.9 extension service delivery. I think, apologies, this is not a correct position.
Okay.
No. I can clearly say that my director HR is here. This is not the correct position.
Okay.
No. We have recruited more than this.
More than that, okay.
Extremely, more than this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then there was the last one from Honorable Simushi over the discrepancies, agribusiness development, where you had targeted to do 250 farmers, and you ended up training 3,416. And it was just like, why was that a positive? But how did you manage that, given the budget allocation, that which was?
Thank you, Chair. The high performance on the number of farmers trained was due to added support from different cooperating partners. In short, among those projects that are running in the ministry, there are some projects that are training the farmers. Okay. Take, for instance, a project that speaks to SCLARA, PDAC, Chiansi. All those have got a component of training where they reach out to the farmers and help the farmer acquire the knowledge they don't have. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honourable members, we need to close. But maybe before we close, another key one. I know you are, but we have to take advantage of your presence. We are just from the consequences. And when the farmers were getting their FISIP, they were signing that condition of at least selling about 10 bags of maize to FRI. A good condition, because then you wanted to ensure that there is food security. And now, even in the midst of this bumper harvest, we still have a lot of farmers who got FISIP, but their production in terms of what they got, some of them, in fact, their crops with that, they haven't harvested anything. Those who did, maybe what they have is just for their, again, household consumption. If they have to sell those 10, they have to go again to buy from. But the fear is because that condition was related to the fact that if they don't sell the 10, then they will not qualify to under the 2024-2025 season. I know it's not under the budget, but are you able to comment? If you are not able to comment now, that is fine. But those are just the statements we are getting from our farmers.
Thank you, Chair. Of course, I can comment. The fact of the issue is when you go into an agreement, you sign a bonding form, you need to do as agreed. And not only that, you have already alluded to the fact that if they do not sell to FRA, then they are also saying this country must not be food secure, because the reason why we sell to FRA is to ensure that we have the maize kept in a safer place. Yes. Not for the benefit of one person, but for the benefit of the entire nation. Now, coming to those farmers who suffered challenges whereby they planted late because they were anticipating rain in this period, yes, they have suffered a setback in terms of their production levels, but then they have got something they've yielded which can still be shared. But there's also an aspect where there's a bit of insurance on the crop. So little as it may be, it's something. But then we are discouraging a farmer to just keep quiet and not show themselves to FRA and have an audience with FRA to discuss the issue that they are being faced with. I think it's important to show yourself to FRA and give a position, and FRA will make a decision on what must be done with those people. Because that is an agreement.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, thank you.
Again, that comes to issues of communication. I wish you could communicate that to the farmers. Say, look, if you for now, that is one of the apprehensions which is there. So if your communication can go back.
Because then it becomes a challenge the next farming season for them to access FSIP. So it is important they must show themselves up to FRA and explain their position.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, honorable members, we need to end here. PS and your team, thank you very much for coming to appear before the committee, Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia in terms of the immunity, that which was given to you earlier on. Also, and do have a good day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, honorable members of this committee. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for still being with us on Parliament Television. That was the Ministry of Agriculture, led by the Permanent Secretary, Ms. Yvonne Mpundu, and they've made their submission to the Planning and Budgeting Committee on the consideration of the budget performance review of the 2024 financial year and the first quarter of 2025. And so that's where we leave you for now. Keep watching Parliament Television and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
The Vice President's question time. Questions for oral answer understanding order number 76.
For a matter to be admitted, it has to be of recent occurrence.
Continue watching Parliament TV, a channel dedicated to bring Parliament closer to you.
For all the football you want for only 610 kwacha per month. I'm talking to you. And every chance you gotta get it. If I ask present it, how can I not go get it?
The job has been done.
And every chance you gotta get it.
It's time for you to see the world. Big fan.
GoTV has something free for every customer. Because there's a new way to enjoy your favorite entertainment at no extra cost. Whenever you want, even on the go. It's as easy as 1, 2, free. Make sure your GoTV subscription is up to date. Download the new GoTV Stream app from your app store and sign into your GoTV account to get going. Watch on your TV, laptop, tablet, or phone. Watch TV anywhere with GoTV Stream. Please, come with me. Get all the best of GoTV.
Also, wow. Let's just...
Plus Premier League. Plus more movies. Plus more fun. Our fun is just beginning.
See the future. We're gonna be...
Plus series galore. Oh, this is better than good. It's better than great. It's Super Plus.
Welcome back home.
Upgrade to GoTV Super Plus today.
Time is power. Our lives are powered by the sun. As the sun rises, so do we. It's time to power your life and say goodbye to blackouts with a new Topstar solar solution, the H50 hybrid system. Enjoy a safe and reliable solar solution at home or your business with the Topstar hybrid inverter, lithium battery, and 550-watt solar panels. Experience a peace of mind with reduced electricity bills, long warranty of up to 5 years with free installation. For more information, call or WhatsApp now on 0779 042000, 0779 042000, or visit our Facebook page at Topstar. Also pay us a visit at our head office next to Arcade Shopping Mall. Topstar Solar. Power your life.
A competition across the continents, the communication throughout the history. 32 teams, 30 days. Novel games, same aim. Whose new chapter it might be, whose another milestone it could be.
What a goal that is!
Whose last dance it would be. Perpetually and relentlessly. It's what you're chasing for that pushes you forward. FIFA Club World Cup, Star Time Sports, beyond passion.
exquisite indulgence of luxurious treats, kissed by the radiance of the African sky. The rhythmic movement of a people in celebration, whose tranquility and peace touch the hearts of those they encounter. There are moments in our lives that live forever. Many of them begin here. Zambia, one destination, a million adventures. Zambia, let's explore.
Breathtaking and thrilling. Visit Livingston City for pure adrenaline and fun. Let its thrills and spills inspire you. Livingston features arguably the best sunset views in the world. Memorable game viewing adventures in the small but well-stocked Moti Otunya National Park, where you can see the rare white rhino. Experience the best of Zambia's rich culture and history at the Livingston Museum. Or through visual and performing arts, food and folklore at the Bonfire by Night. And to crown them all, the awesome, majestic, mighty Victoria Falls, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, known in local language as Mosi Otunya, the smoke that thunders. A visit to Livingston is incomplete if it does not include this world-famous icon. Some call it Zambia, but we call it home. One Zambia, one destination, limitless exploring. Zambia, let's explore.
It's a land where every person is born free. And it's a land of peace, of love and unity. This land, Zambia, land of the strong, home of the brave. Our land, Zambia, free men we stand. In this land,
Zambia, a jewel in the center of Africa.